This conversation reminded me that softness isn't about what it looks like. It's about what it costs and what it protects. And sometimes just naming that is the first act of care. It's girls' night and we look cute. The food smells divine. The drinks are flowing and the conversation turns to sex. This isn't a panel, it's a table, and the tea is definitely being spilled. So I wanted to kind of shift like the conversation.
Yeah.
Get a little personal.
Mm-hmm.
So have you ever, any of you guys, ignored a red flag or maybe even a condom request so you don't ruin the vibe or the moment?
I have ignored red flag, but I've never ignored a condom request. No, never.
So what red flag did you ignore?
So I met this toxic trans.
Okay.
Very toxic. I know the person was toxic. And one of the biggest red flag when I first met them is they were born on the same day as my ex.
Oh.
And my ex is a narcissist.
Oh.
So that was the first red flag that I ignored, as well as
Did you?
No, Aquarius.
Which month is that?
February the 18th. Yes. Very toxic, very narcissistic person.
Yeah.
I ignored all the red flags and I fell deeply in love with this person.
Which is deserving.
It was, well, yeah, because a part of me feel like this person needed somebody like me in their life just to help them to get along, because they were, you know, very broken and hurt from a lot of stuff. And me just being a strong person who I've spent so many years by myself, trying to figure out myself, setting my boundaries and everything like that, I met somebody who would basically bring me back to where I'm coming from. But I fell in love with them and I ignored all the signs. I cried, I suffered, and I was there for them for about 6 months before I actually end things. So yeah. Red flag, but not a condom request. Absolutely not.
So do you think it was kind of worth it doing that?
It was worth it for me in a way where I was a good person to them, and in return, they weren't a good person to me. So I get my blessing from God. I don't look for blessing from human beings. I'll never get it from them.
Yeah.
I get it from God. So I do good regardless of how you treat me. I'm going to do good. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I know a lot of red flags I had, you know, denied and omitted and stuff. But there are a few, especially too, if the person is like a person that wants, this was a guy that I had a crush on for a very long time. And it was like, I knew this guy is so toxic. I know he's so toxic. I know he's so, even from
like
where
him?
I met him. And I was like, just let me try. And you talk about meeting a guy, I think I met a guy who his birthday was the day my mom passed away.
Oh my God.
Which then too, it was two guys on the January 6th. Narcissist, very toxic, but because then too he was really cute.
But that's Capricorn.
He was very cute.
Capricorn.
But I was asking you when,
Yeah.
and you said February, because I was like, I hope it's not January. It was like, maybe your story is like similar, but he was cute, and I knew him for a while, but then we stopped from speaking, and then even where we met, I was like, red flag.
Something's already off.
But something was pulling you in, right?
Yeah, and I was like, you know what, just
Love.
And then what made you stay is like, being very honest, sex was good.
Yeah.
Sex was good. But I knew it was so toxic, and I just went into it, and I could have only then blamed myself. Because I just was like, girl, you know, it's like that voice is telling you, don't do it, don't go. And then what kept me, like I said, the sex is good.
Well, because I feel like that was a pulling factor that was holding you. And I think it applies because I feel like in relationships, something will hold us.
Yeah.
But the question is, when is the line going to come? And how much can you take in?
Yeah.
What you allow, I always say, what you allow will continue. and nothing changes if nothing changes. So I had to then get in my mind, like you were saying, you can't change no one.
True.
And as much as you're saying you're a good person and you telling yourself your goodness is gonna overflow and maybe spill on them, and they can then see. And then, you know, because I say for me, if I'm in a relationship or I meet somebody and they're giving me 20, sometimes I like to give you a 25, 30, just so you can see and maybe elevate and do a little more. And even if you do get to that 30, I would then go to another 10, maybe make it 40. But if I realize that I'm giving a certain amount and I'm not one to give to get, but at the same time, I still need for you to pour into my cup, because I can't.
Some form of reciprocation.
You can't pour from an empty glass. So I still need to know that my glass is still being filled somewhere, even if it's not financially, it's emotionally. Something give me. If not,
Well, relationships are always give and take, in my opinion. Because if you're giving, you run out.
even if it's not in a relationship, but even if it's a
Friendship, that's like, I'm sure we can agree on this. I feel like this friendship we kind of like,
Every single relationship, all of them.
You should feel safe with the person and expect respect. Because that's what you were talking about, you know. You're always supposed to expect some sort of respect for everybody, right? And
just take me right back to
Evelyn didn't say, she'll be asking, have you denied or requested a condom? Like
that part.
oh,
Yes.
even she would have to say something. So
let's start.
No, I'm gonna
But I'll answer after.
honestly, yes, I did, but at the same time, it was like it was my ex. So to me, it was like, although we broke up, and you know, you want to play hard to get, and it's like you went on, you moved on, you went with somebody else, and hold this. But then you know how men is be like, you know, this still belongs to you, and you know, this still belongs to me, and you soft girl era too, and you just submissive, and you know how it was before. So then you just and you allow him to just have his way. So I denied myself the power of saying hold this and sticking to it. I just, because of the past and the love. I know, right?
But also the vibe too. You didn't want to ruin. Okay,
you go ahead.
I've heard stories, you know, of my friends ignoring red flags, and unfortunately, it does bite them back. You know?
Yeah, it always does.
And I mean, sometimes it's like, sometimes you need to live to learn. You need to learn to live, right? And in those experiences that they've had, they kind of know for the next time, you know, the next experience, what I remember this. I'm gonna be smart this time and not ignore it, you know. And I feel like, again, you can't beat yourself up. Every day is an experience. Every day is to be learned.
I wanted to bring both of your perspective also by agreeing from, I think you know the person, like one of my good friends. She said anytime she's having an engagement, because she's still dating and trying life out there, she kind of write a script on a text message so that she doesn't ruin the moment or the vibe. Yeah, she does. Like, she literally writes down what she's expecting out of it or how she wants it to be done. And then that communication is done. And she also asked if when the person was last tested and if like they can disclose their HIV and AIDS status, or how, like, you know, that getting right into the wellness and like making sure when the moment comes, there's no doubt, there's free soul, and there's consent. So that's something that like you were saying, like, I didn't know if I should say something or should I play along because I don't want to ruin the moment. But if that has been discussed on text, they're not there, you're just writing your thoughts. They deal with it. And then now in the moment, you spread. In my opinion, I think it's a good thing. It
is.
One of the points that you mentioned about getting tested, I find over the last couple of years, that is something that I personally look for. Where, you know, before I get into business with you, I say it's either we go and do it together, or you can do your test alone and I will do my test alone, and we both show each other our results.
And you're asking this in person or over text?
Oh, not over text, baby, in person.
Oh,
In person.
my question would be like, how do you harness the confidence? Just
So I'm very bold. I'm super bold, and I will ask you any question. Like literally, I'm not scared of asking questions. And I'm gonna ask you straight up, when was your last test? Can I see the result? How many unprotected sex did you have? You know, how many persons did you sleep with? Well, I don't normally ask about last time they had sex or anything like that, to be honest. But I like to ask about getting tested.
well, now this my girlfriend would ask, like, so when did you have the unprotected, and did you know the person's consent? Like they really get into that.
No, my specific question is, when was the last time you had unprotected sex?
Oh,
That would be my question.
And you answer this because you want to find out if they've done it after their testing?
No, I want to know how active they are and how safe they are playing it. So let's say they tell me the test was 3 months ago. Between that 3 months and now we're having the conversation.
Have you?
Have you had unprotected sex?
Oh.
Because remember, if you have the test done, if you use condom all the time after that, then you're good. But if you haven't, then yeah, we can get down to business. But still, you know, I need to know that you're safe. Huh?
I mean, now I can ask Sunshine this question, but I want to ask both of you guys. So, do you feel like it's easier to ask for a text or, you know, for emotional connection?
The thing is you can ask, but not everybody's going to tell you the truth. Not everybody's going to be honest. And so then how do you
Maneuver.
around?
but I feel like that's when we should also know the rights around sex, consent, and privacy. That, like, you can lie to me, but just for you to know, if this goes south, there are some legal measures out there. You will be accountable, so that you give people liability for them to also value your life, and knowing that there are some constitutional laws that stands behind every human being when it comes to especially sex, unprotected sex, and any other illness that surrounds it.
Which I get that. We was having a conversation similar to this, and the topic came up. When some guys are undetectable, they still don't want to spill their tea because, again, or even women, they still don't want to spill their tea because, again, they're undetectable. So they still take that risk, which is not good, but still.
So how can we go about it and still get a definite result? So should we just self-test? I think that's
Even if you self-test afterwards, yeah.
yeah.
Even if you self-test after you already done it.
Certain things are not detectable until like 2-3 weeks after. Like, for example, HIV and all those things, you cannot detect that a week after. You gotta wait like about 3 weeks, I think.
With self-test, I think it's 99.9%.
I've never done a self-test.
It's something easy. That's why maybe putting the conversation on text, because like you were asking how big the eggplant might grow, you know, for you to resist it now can be a challenge. So if you can talk about it when they are not there, so there is no emotional or the edge to like, I don't care. So you can now say, okay, can we just do home self-test? If maybe these are my results. How are you doing? I think that like putting it more on the technology, like, you know.
It breaks the ice.
Yeah, break the ice and the.
One of the girls was asking me a question too on the same topic that we were having about that. So if you meet a guy and he tells you, you ask the question and he does tell you yes, he's positive, but he's on. How do you, or even a girl, however, how would you deal with knowing the person's status, but they're undetectable? Would you scorn them? Would you shun them?
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, yes, it would be a shock knowing that he's positive, but I would ask all the questions that I need to ask, and then I would talk to my doctor to find out if I'm safe to sleep with somebody who is A, B, C, D, whatever the case is, you understand? Because I don't want to put myself at risk. Yes, he's undetectable, but I need as much knowledge as possible before I lay bed with him.
I feel having as much
the knowledge is power. So yes, he's positive. You don't have to shut it down, especially if you like him. Just educate yourself.
And there are options. Then how can we do this safely? Yes, I like you, but since your result came this way, it doesn't mean there's no sex after knowing that they're positive. But now how can we engage in a safe way that we enjoy and go part ways without...
And I want to interject on that too, because shunning, I feel like, is part of the stigma.
And then it will stop somebody from actually being honest.
Right? Because we're all fighting the issue of, what if we don't know. Right? But the response that we give to individuals who are experiencing or are living with HIV
would depending on the answer we get.
Exactly. So sure, we're living in a community, especially in our community, where everybody should be transparent. Right? It's also the power is also in our hands. Right? We need to make sure that we are giving respect.
True. Because a lot of persons ask for honesty, but it's how you're gonna deal with it honesty when it shows up at your door. So again, what you said, basically making the person feel comfortable with you, and even answering before they does answer, letting them know that, hey,
it's
fine, you're a human, I just want to know to protect myself, if anything, and then
and protecting them too, because it's really not, because if we say me, then we're being narcissistic. But if we all kind of bring it out there for it to be a win to them too, that way they know that I'm also looking out for you. It's not only about me, and whatever happens, we have each other, you know what I mean? So I'm
not only saying it but meaning it.
And also too, knowing that transition is not just one way. Right. People have different stories. Right. So just understanding that there's so many layers. So
I've never really had a bad experience asking, maybe because I'm always joking before I get to that question. I've never really had a bad experience where someone lies about it or maybe insecure about giving me an answer or even refusing to do the test.
They would be insecure if they come in like, are you this?
I put it out there to let them know that I'm not a judgmental person, and I obviously made them feel comfortable before I just boom drop the question on them.
Earlier you were saying about taking the person to get tested, and that's good because a lot of persons, even if you ask, do not know their status.
A
lot of persons
test before.
There are a lot of persons who do not.
I feel like the challenge is because we don't talk about HIV and AIDS enough in our circles. And HIV and AIDS then is still stigmatized, is still demonized. It's people are not so welcome to this conversation. And a lot of times when you ask someone like, when did you test? The first thing is like, so you don't trust me? You don't do this? No.
Even to talk about it, persons is automatically think that the reason why you're going to talk about it is because you associated or you affiliate.
Because people just want to bracket it as something that that comes from bad deeds or doing. It's unfortunate that the society still needs a lot of learning.
You know what the funny thing is? It's not even just HIV. There's also hepatitis. There's AIDS.
I was saying so too, so much, because when you partying for Caribana or certain places and sweat, and persons don't think about these things.
So now, do you guys feel as if, soft life also, just to bring it back, right? Do you feel like, with soft life, it's always sometimes labeled as being passive, right? Or being easygoing. Do you kind of define it like that, in that way?
It all depends. Me, in a long relationship, passive can be a big word. And it depends on where I am with myself. But sometimes it's passive in the sense that I'm doing it, then I get something in return. Like the money for the soft life. So I kind of want to, it's a trend like that. So
for me, it's not easygoing, and I wouldn't say it's not. it's intentional for me. Yes, soft life is very intentional.
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's about you.
exactly.
It's intentional, but I'm just being honest.
I know, it's totally intentional for you.
That's how I get my maintenance fee. I need it.
I like to be in my softer era. It's just I don't like for men to think that because you are soft, you aren't strong at the same time. And taking advantage of me because, it's soft. And again, sexualizing and stuff. You gotta then step out of that soft girl era to let them know, hey,
This is my place. Yeah.
and and my no is a complete sentence.
Yeah.
I don't need to explain my no to you. My no should be respected from the jump.
Exactly. And even you saying no right now, like as living in your soft girl era, as we all are, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's easy to say no?
For me, because I'm bold, no.
It depends for me.
For me, I say no. If it's not there, I'm sorry. I'm tired.
Absolutely.
Because no's are not because of selfishness. Sometimes I'm just not there.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm not just mentally present, or I'm just tired, or I'm just not there. Like, leave me alone. Like, I had a long day. So I feel like if there's anything I've built myself for some time through my personal journey is to learn to say no. And to say no with intention. There is a stop it, I like it. But then there is a no. And I really want that to be heard. Like, when I say no, I mean it. And that's when my angry black woman can come in if you don't.
But that's the thing too. How do you define? Because again, not to contradict myself, sometimes a no, depending on the person, can mean
because even though I'm intentional about my soft girl era, like it depends when it
this
comes to
no can sometimes mean yes, I want you to be a little.
But isn't that a problem in itself?
But I would say depending on the connection,
So I say it depends with the size
the size. Oh my God!
of my eyes. Like no.
I thought you meant the size.
Yeah. No, I mean like sometimes when someone says no, you can really read it in their face. Like no, like it's so intentional.
And it's not a play.
Yeah, it's not like nah, like I don't know how to fake it. I'm so used to saying no to young people. Yeah, so that one that really sinks in.
But the thing is
And it should be unapologetic.
if you're in a relationship, like you say, how much times is a no okay? Say you have your husband, he's gonna have his needs or his wants and stuff. Say no constantly.
I feel like you can't know for the rest of the marriage unless there is a problem. Then we have to talk about it.
Okay, in other words, and how many times for the week do you think it's okay to say no?
How many times in a week do we even get time to have it?
So now we gotta go to the mouth.
Okay, maybe in a span. In natural, I feel like men wants it more often than women, in my opinion, because we get distracted and we move on with other things. Like I can, like ever since I had kids, I feel like maybe part of me is now investing in kids. So I don't feel the need to. Because I'm good with cuddles all day, And now you're coming, you're like, and I'm just like,
hubby want to be prioritized too.
Yeah, that's where I can compromise. That's when it can become a chore, because now I'm compromising it.
So then when it becomes a chore, do you put your all into it still?
Oh, so I do get in, like, hey, but after I'm like, yeah, it's not good.
Sometimes dealing with the kids all the time, or work or whatever, sometimes that stress relief, that different stress relief,
It's good.
is great.
Oh yeah, great.
And sometimes it's when you don't do it in a household, you start to get emotionally frustrated because you are spending a lot of time being like a 2-year-old and you don't know that you're being frustrated, like you're a bit frustrated to your partner. So that's that's when the no comes in. I don't know. That's how it is. So sometimes it's the compromise, and maybe your partner can see you're a bit frustrated, but they cannot tell you you're frustrated, but they just know the weapon.